world, it's Keely and I'm back for another video. This is going to be my March TBR slash kind of personal curriculum, reading plans, life check-in, everything. Just general plans for March. Now it is the 24th of February and I am in the middle of a lot of books, as I always am. And from now until the 28th, I'm going to try my hardest to finish as many of those as I can so that I can really start March fresh. A lot of the books that I wanted to get to in February, I didn't get to. One, because I'm a huge mood reader and I end up just picking up things randomly as they grab my attention. And the other is because I picked up so many things that I wasn't really finishing much. I was just kind of making a little bit of progress across the board. For March, I think I want to kind of focus on one main theme, which is completely disconnecting from the internet. Now, I'm not actually going to like cancel my internet or anything like that because I am a remote worker. So just a function of being a remote worker means that at least 8 hours a day, I have to be online in some capacity. And that's fine. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is all the other times that I am on the internet. And that includes doom scrolling on my phone or, you know, just like mindlessly clicking on YouTube videos, all of those things. I basically start my day immediately online and end my day online, and I don't want to do that for March because my brain has been kind of really struggling lately, just overall struggling with what's going on in the world at any given time. The United States kind of feels like it's on fire at any given time, and it's just like really starting to weigh on me again. I'm starting to get a little bit burnt out, feeling a little bit helpless, a little bit hopeless about the world, and I don't want to start spring with that kind of mindset. So what I want to do is really pull back, and in March my focus is going to be on just disconnecting and reading. And when I am online, you know, in previous months, January and February, I have still been able to finish a decent amount of books, but I want to see how many books I can get read in March when I am spending more time reading and less time on the internet. I have about 1 billion books to talk to you guys about. I have my March hopefuls list. You can see it's kind of really full, and we're just gonna go through them. We'll talk about all the books that I would like to read. There are a couple, well, not a couple, about 1 billion challenges that I am doing, but I'm going to add in a new one. And I made this the other day when I was on a webinar and just kind of zoning out. And this one is called this is my book haul challenge. And so I wrote down all of the books that I bought in January and then all the books that I bought in March. And I am coloring them in as I have completed them. And I have 4 down here at the bottom that I had already read before I made this. And so far I have finished another one, and I am reading at least 4 of the other ones on this list. I have one more book coming to me on Friday that was back ordered on bookshop.org and finally came in, and so they finally were able to ship it, so that one will be here on Friday. But this is going to be one of the things that I will be working through, is just as I'm finishing books that I bought in 2026, marking them off, because I don't want to do what I do every year, which is bring in a lot of books and then not read them. I don't like starting the year at kind of like a deficit of all of these books that I brought in that I wanted to read that I didn't get to. My plan is going to be to work on 2026 purchases and trying to read those, because those are the ones that are like top of mind. I want to read right now, so I might as well. For all the other reading challenges, for the Read Good challenge, this month, March, is going to be reading a book that has an Oscar nominated adaptation. And for that, I think I want to finally get back to The Two Towers. Now, I think the one that I had actually initially chose was Return of the King, but I'm not there yet. I haven't finished The Two Towers, so I want to finally get back to the Lord of the Rings universe and read this one for the first time. I am still just up to the Riders of Rohan. I have been there since I picked this up last year and haven't moved on beyond that, which is like right at the beginning, and I just really want to try to spend some time. I might actually restart with The Fellowship and read it physically, because I read it on my Kindle when I read it, and that was fine. It was a lot of fun, but I kind of want these books to look like lived in, like as if I've actually read them. And I think, yeah, I'm gonna do something with The Lord of the Rings for the Read Good challenge. I'm just not sure which one yet. And I will read whatever book ends up getting picked for TBR Spin. That is going to be, I think, on Saturday is the live show where Sarah will spin the wheel and we'll have to pick another one. Then for 12 Months of Blackoween, I will be reading Cursed Daughters, and this is the newest one from this author, and my hold on it from the library, it finally says available soon. I have had that on hold for over a month, and it's just a very popular book, so I am excited to finally get that one in. And then for Sydney's book club, the March pick is Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross, so I'm gonna have to get that one from the library. Now I have a stack of like backlist books. These are all books that I either previously started, have put on lots of TBRs, have been thinking about lately, bought in 2025 or earlier, and just haven't gotten to yet. And so I have quite a stack here where basically I just want to try to make progress on all of these like previous lists and these things that I've been saying I would read. One that I need to finish soon is Honey and Venom by Andrew Coate. This is Confessions of an Urban Beekeeper. This one is left over from the January Read Good prompt, which was a book that has food in the title, and I just never finished it because I picked up a billion other things. I got to page 53, which is the end of a chapter, and I just never finished it, and I really need to do that and get this one read. I also think this will be a good one to kind of move into hopefully spring. We just got 13 inches of snow overnight 2 days ago, and it definitely does not feel like it's going to be spring anytime soon, but I am hoping that I can finish this one. Then one that I've had on many TBRs, and I did start it at one point, and I've just been thinking about it a lot lately, is Aurora by Kim Stanley Robinson. This is kind of a huge sci-fi about, I think like they have to go to another planet because Earth has fallen apart or something like that. I don't remember. I bought this one last year because I watched, either last year or the year before, because I watched a video from Emma who had to read it for one of her classes, and I was like, I could read that and I want to read that, and then I bought it and didn't read it, so I want to read this one. This one I've had on kind of top of mind the last couple days, and that one is Frankenstein in Baghdad by Ahmed Sadawi. This one is a Frankenstein retelling set in Baghdad, and it was part of this huge stack of Frankenstein retellings or inspired books that I bought I think last year because I wanted to do like a Frankenstein summer project that I just never did, and this one I've been thinking a lot about recently, about really wanting to read this one, so I decided that I will throw this one on this list. I also am really needing some like super fun, just kind of like little kid stuff, so I decided that I should really finally read the second book in the Greenwild trilogy by Perry Thompson. This is a middle grade about plant magic. I loved the first book, Greenwild, and I immediately went and bought the second book and then didn't read it, so I really need to read that one. How many times have I said I was going to read The Bandit Queens by Perini Schroff, and I never did, so I would really like to read this one. People really, really love this one. This one was longlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction when it came out a couple years ago. It's about a woman who, I believe her husband left her, but everyone in her community thinks that she killed her husband, and so all these wives start showing up to her house like, can you help us get rid of our husbands? And I don't know anything beyond that about it. I've purposely like not really looked into it, but I've heard just really great things about it, so I want to read this one. This is one I said I was going to read in January, I think, and I didn't get to. This one is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This is the first book in the, I actually don't know what the name of this trilogy is called, but it is a completed trilogy. I've had it on my shelf for at least a year, and I know that it's just a really, really fun fantasy, and I would like to get to that one. Then I have Human Rights by Juno Dawson, which is the third and final book in the Her Majesty's Royal Covenant trilogy. I bought this one when it came out and didn't read it, and I really need to because this is one of my favorite series of all time, and I would just like to have this one completed. Oh my god, this one I've had on so many TBRs and I still haven't read it yet. This one is Black Water Sister by Zentro. This is about a girl who starts hearing the voice of her dead grandmother who's like, hey, you have to help me with unfinished business. And I don't know anything about it beyond that. I just thought that it sounded incredible and I bought it, and then I've just never actually read it, and that's kind of ridiculous. So I really need to pick this one up. And then I've got some other books, of course I do, from reading challenges that I haven't gotten to yet. So I'm still trying to get caught up on Sydney's book club. I joined it back in August or September, and I've read a couple of the books, but I haven't been completely caught up yet. I am currently reading the book for January, which is Alex E. Harrow's new book. Is it The Everlasting? Something like that. That one is a fantasy, and I'm having a good time with it. I'm like almost a third of the way through it. That was one that I had to put on hold at the library back in January, and it just now came through because it's a very popular book right now. So I'm reading that one, and then after that I have to read Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. That was the February book, and then Wild Reference will be the March book, but I still haven't read the November book, which is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I've heard mixed things about this one. I know that people really like, what is their other book? The Night and the Moth or something like that. I've heard that that one is more fun. People tend to like that one more. This is the one I have. I bought it to read for November and then didn't get to it, so I really need to read this one. Then there are 2 readathons happening in March that I said I was going to take part in, so I'm going to show you the books for those. Hopefully I can get to some of these. One is March of the Mammoths. I don't know if it's officially happening. I haven't looked it up, but that's just one that I know happens in March, where people just try to read books that are over 500 pages. I am in the middle of 3 books that are all pretty huge. I think this one is very close to 500, so I'm going to include it. But the first one is The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois by Honoré Fanon Jeffers. This one I started in February, and as you can see, I am 275 pages through it. This one is like an 800-page book, so I'm going to continue working my way through this one. Then I am also reading Jade City by Fonda Lee. This is a fantasy about Jade, the stone type of magic, and like different rival factions, and I'm having a good time with it. I am almost halfway through it. This one is just under 500 pages, but close enough. I'm gonna count it. So this is one that I'm reading on my Kindle, so when I finish all the other books that I keep starting on my Kindle, I keep going back and reading more of that one. So I'm just gonna keep working my way through that one. And the one that I have not yet finished, that I started a while ago, is The Eye of the Bedlam Bride by Matt Dinniman. This is the 6th book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. It is, I think, the biggest one thus far. I am 253 pages into it, and you can see that does not look very far at all. That's not even halfway. And I have just been really wanting to go back to this universe and have just a good time reading these super fun fantasy books. Book 7 is already out. We have book 7. Book 8, they've posted the cover and all of that. We have it pre-ordered. That one doesn't come out, I think, until June. So I do have some time, but I would like to get that one done. And then the other readathon is the Irish readathon. And I do have a book that I want to buy for that, but I also am really trying to read the books that I own. And I think I'm going to wait and buy that one if I finish the ones that I own, and we'll see. I have 2 books that are for the Irish readathon. The first one is Did You Hear Mammy Died by Seamus O'Reilly. This one is a memoir that I've heard very, very good things about. And then another one I've heard incredible things about is We Don't Know Ourselves by Fintan O'Toole, a personal history of modern Ireland. Now, this author has written a couple books, I think, and people really, really love them. And this one I bought because Jill from the Book Bully posted a while ago, like when she was making videos, that she really, really enjoyed this book. And I went and bought it, and I started reading it the day that I bought it, and then I just haven't picked it back up. I would like to get to it. Other kind of vibes for March is just going to be reading from my backlist. So trying to get more books read from my shelves, to like continue using my library, because that's a huge part of my reading as well, and I want to continue supporting my local library. And then just trying to kind of like bring my center back, like kind of just focus on my life with my husband and my friends and my dog and my sister and all of that. I have a medical procedure coming up at the end of March that is also going to be incredibly stressful that I'm not looking forward to. Then in April, my husband has to have some medical procedures done, and it's just a lot, like given everything else that's going on. So I think that the best thing that I can do for myself is to just kind of rein it in, lock my shit down, and really focus on just being in a good place mentally and physically over the next couple weeks so I can start the spring strong. This is kind of what I'm looking at for March. I'm hoping to get a lot of stuff read and just have a good time with it. Let me know what you guys are planning to read for March. Oh, in terms of like a curriculum, I'm going to continue with the Harlem Renaissance all through March because there's a lot of books I bought for it that I haven't read. I have books from the library that I haven't read because I've been reading so many other things. So my personal curriculum is just going to continue to be Harlem Renaissance. And then I have some ideas for the spring, but I don't know. We'll see. That's a long way away. That's like weeks away, and I change my mind frequently. So we will see what I end up deciding that I want to focus on for the spring. That is it. Let me know if you guys have read any of these and what you thought of them. What are you planning on reading in March? I hope that everyone is doing okay and taking care of yourself and your loved ones as much as you can. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.